They were once brothers, but now Mark McGwire wants nothing to do with Jose Canseco. Canseco apologized to McGwire while attending the 25th anniversary of their 1989 World Series victory last weekend, but McGwire wasn't having it. He told ESPN LosAngeles.com, "It's too late. I don't care to ever speak to him again. What he did was wrong." You may remember Canseco accusing McGwire of using PEDs in his 2005 book, 5 years before McGwire came out about his usage. Stephen A. Smith, we're choosing sides. Whose side are you on?
Shockingly, for the first time in years, I would have to say that I'm on Mark McGwire's side. I definitely think he's the father, maybe not the godfather, but the father of the steroids era.
Who?
Mark McGwire. I said like I call Canseco the godfather, father, whatever you want. I'm saying, I look at it that way. I definitely think you can look at it, and I thought that he was a wuss and going on Capitol Hill, didn't even know he was pleading the fifth, or didn't even know how to articulate that point of view. And he was clearly telling the truth about Mark McGwire in terms of Jose Canseco that I'm talking about here. But Skip, I struggle with this because let me preface it by doing something I rarely do, but getting into myself a little bit. I mean, you know, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I am a Christian. I believe in God. And, you know, you're encouraged to forgive while never forgetting. I must admit, I don't necessarily subscribe to that theory all the time. There are people who have lied on me and have maligned me, and they will never be forgiving. No matter how hard they try, they can go to hell. And I truly mean that.
Well, now that's a strong
statement. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. One individual in particular, and you know who that is. But with that being said, and I mean it.
It's hot in her.
And I mean it.
It's real hot in her.
And I hope it's real hot for him one day.
Whoa.
But with that being said,
I'm not sure God would appreciate what you just said.
Yeah, and I have to. My pastor works with me on these things because he is aware of how I feel. Okay. So, and I'll admit that. However, that person lied and maligned and all this stuff. In Jose Canseco's case, he was telling the truth.
He was.
Here's the problem, though. What's the intent behind it? Were you forced or compelled to do so? No. The name of the book, Juiced. Wild Times, Rampant Roids, Smash Hits, and How Baseball Got Big. Jose Canseco did this to make money, and he used the life of Mark McGwire to profit off of it. He provoked and instituted misery in a way that is it's unforgivable to me. You know, listen, I don't care who you are. Like, let's say, for example, if Roger Clemens, for example, never forgave Andy Pettitte, you need to get over that. Andy Pettitte didn't tell on you. Andy Pettitte was subpoenaed. Andy Pettitte had to go and give sworn testimony under oath, and if he had lied, he would have gone to jail. That's entirely different than writing a book and trying to profit off of somebody else's misery that would have never existed had you not written the book. You didn't even capitalize off a misery that was already in existence. You caused the misery. You brought the heat of the world down upon Mark McGwire. So because of that, that's about your intent, which is the biggest reason. That's my biggest struggle. See, I can forgive anybody. You understand? I truly can. I can forgive anybody for making a mistake. I can forgive somebody for hurting me. I can forgive somebody for disappointing me. But betrayal is what I don't forgive, because betrayal speaks to intent. And when your intent is to do me harm, I am never letting that go. So that is a struggle that I have always had. And in all likelihood, I always will have it. Not what you did, but the intent behind it.
I feel like we're in church.
And that's why I can't I got to side with Mark McGwire on this. I just do.
I am with you on this. I'm on Mark McGwire's side in as much as if he never wants to speak to Jose Canseco, his former Bash brother, again, I'm good with that. I don't think he should speak to him again. I also have some sympathy for Jose Canseco, who might be the all-time biggest knucklehead in the history of the sport of baseball. He could be laughably knuckle-headed. But have you ever known a guy who is either dumb smart or smart dumb? Like you think the guy's so wrong-headed, but he has some little intelligence up there, a couple places? When it came to steroids, he was highly intelligent, Jose Canseco. He was the godfather of this era. He knew how to get, he knew how to use, to maximize his efficiency in the sport of baseball. And I remind you, for our younger viewers, he did win the 1988 MVP, steroid-fueled, but again, this was a superiorly talented 5-tool player. Remember that year? Yep. He hits 42 home runs, 124 RBIs, still hit 307, stole 40 bases. So this is a huge man who could fly. This is the whole package that was completely flawed. So what happened? Think of the irony of this when we get to the book Juiced. Jose Canseco at age 37 was angry because he felt like the powers that be in baseball had blackballed him. Well, why did they blackball him? Because they suspected he was a juicer.
Right.
So then he writes the book Juiced out of anger, and he rats out everybody, including, and foremost, Mark McGwire, his former Oakland A's teammate. He even he portrays depicts the scenes in the bathroom stalls at Oakland in the Coliseum. They go in the stall and close the door, and he is injecting Mark in the butt before games. Well, this is pretty explicit. This is so detailed that I know when we were on the show, when that book broke, I'm reading these passages saying he must really know because he's got detail here. And so we all bought, literally and figuratively, the book, as did finally Congress. So think about what Jose Canseco did, and this is where I'm conflicted. This was a watershed moment for the sport of baseball. Once our national pastime. I'm not sure it is anymore, but it was. It was. Building up, and we were coming off the steroid era, the summer of love, the great home run chase.
It shaped a decade of baseball and completely changed the image that it held.
So Jose Canseco lately has repeatedly said he regrets doing all this. And I believe it does because he became, again, he got blackballed by the league. Then he got blackballed by the players he ratted out. He became a pariah to everybody in baseball. Right. But did he save baseball from itself? Or would Stephen A. Smith have preferred that the steroid era had quietly continued?
Skip.
Okay.
Whether he saved baseball from itself or not is irrelevant as it pertains to Jose Canseco because, again, I'm speaking about intent. Okay. His intent wasn't to save baseball. No. His intent was to profit.
I think also to get even with.
Profit and get even with. And again, I measure intent. And so if your intent, when I talked about me on a personal level and where I stand and how I feel, it's because of specific individuals' intent to do me harm after smiling in my face. You understand? Pretending you was something you wasn't. I ain't forgetting that, and I ain't forgiving it. You know, there are plenty of differences. Look at me in my mouth. There are plenty of differences that I have had with people over the years. There's two things people can never say about me in life. In life. Number one, I don't dishonor what friendship is and what the code it entails, etc., etc. I don't betray people. You might not like what I feel. You might not like where I stand. You might not like what I stand for, whatever the case may be. But damn it, I'm a Mack truck. You see me coming. I'm telling you, there is no betrayal. You don't sit there and get whiplashed and backstabbed and like, where did this come from? I don't know this person. This is not the Stephen A. I know. There is not a soul alive that can ever say that about me because for better or worse, I'm trustworthy. And in the end, when you are an individual who proves yourself to be a sliming, skeezing, morally bankrupt individual, there is no forgiveness for that because your intent is that of the devil, and you should be called that and treated as such. And that is what Jose Canseco is, with a couple of people that I know.
Okay.
People who have profited from their deception.
Or damn sure tried.
Whoa.
They know who they are.
Jose Canseco, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about, right? Okay.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yes. I will say for you, though, honestly, when you get into it with people, you forgive. You get over it. You move past.
I forgive as if, again, not betrayal.
Not betrayal.
Not betrayal.
Slime buckets. slimy people.
Well, we are.
You have personal experience here?
I know. I'm saying with some other.
Not this one.
Never. What?
No.
Love. All right, we're done, folks. I know what we're talking about. Coming up next, how much? What are you laughing at?
I'm getting such a kick out of this.
We're talking about the Clippers when we come back.
We are?
Yeah. Too expensive? Just the right price.
Couple bill.
A couple of bill. We talk